There was quite the incident recently when Meghan Markle was ripped apart by an angry American host who considered her new brand a scam. We're going to analyze specifically what happened in this video. This month, Meghan Markle has announced her new business endeavor, American Riviera Orchard, and she marked it with a video shared on Instagram. But Meghan still got ripped apart by a raging US host who has dismissed her new lifestyle brand as a fraud. Beebs Kelley, the US host and commentator, has taken aim at Meghan Markle's new lifestyle brand. She told the Paul Murray Live show on Sky News Australia, "This new lifestyle brand, you bake? I don't believe any of that. I don't get it, and I don't think people are going to be attracted to her brand. It's all because it's fake. At least Martha Stewart knows how to cook and set a beautiful table." And in other news, another royal expert is also warning Meghan Markle and Prince Harry that they could find themselves hung out to dry by Hollywood if they don't come up with a different story to tell and quick. It just seems like Meghan cannot comprehend what people in the US like. Harry and Meghan are not considered to be Hollywood celebrities in any way, shape, or form. Instead, they are seen as a couple of desperate wannabes because that's what they are. Harry's former royal status is meaningless, especially since he married Meghan Markle, the mattress actress. And honestly, I can't recall when the last time was that they were invited to a big A-lister event. I think I can remember about 2 events, and Harry and Meghan both paid to be there, and they also paid to get some type of award. Meghan Markle has never been a real royal either, but some people seem to forget that fact. Just because you happen to have a title does not mean that it transforms a person into a royal immediately. Harry and Meghan would do a lot better in life if they started to be real philanthropists, if they started helping other people. Before Harry met Meghan, I think he was involved in some real charity work, but now he just lets her call all the shots. He needs to stop that, though. All the money they spend on rebranding and try to improve Meghan Markle's reputation is an absolute waste of money. I do hope they wise up, but I don't think they're going to. They're too stupid. It's important to remember that even a broken clock is right 2 times a day, and the thing is, we've always been right about Meghan. Meghan Markle plagiarizes everything. She has never had an original thought in that empty head of hers. This is an attempt to get a bunch of money in a market that's already flooded with overpriced lifestyle brands. When all else fails, I guess Meghan Markle is going to try to merge off the kids. Oh yeah, and she's a real feminist. But now she is branding herself as a trad wife, somebody who roams the garden of the mansion wearing a ball gown after cooking a meal while standing at a kitchen island with a really ridiculous amount of kitchen gadgets and running her hands through somebody else's flower arrangement. And then, of course, she waltzes through the arches like some delicate fairy tale princess that she's not. Meghan Markle, it looks like, is trying to portray herself as a 50s housewife. But actually, I need to correct this. Meghan's brand is not what is a hoax in this situation. It's Meghan herself. They've also been shunned by high society. They've been shunned by the royal family and certainly by the A-listers in the States too. I mean, there's good reason for that. Harry, of course, was born into a life of immense privilege. I mean, he was born with a king-size silver spoon in his mouth and a big chip on his shoulder, in spite of the fact that every door was open to him throughout his life. He had money, he had connections. The people of the UK admired him since he was a little boy, and then Meghan Markle, the previously unknown Z-list cable TV actress, waltzes into Harry's life and ruins everything. Honestly, they're so incredibly toxic. I mean, they're living in a mansion that could house hundreds of people, but they're so selfish they gotta take it all for themselves. They'll only fly via private jet, and they're trying to set up an alternative royal court in America, but the thing is, they're lacking grace, and they don't have any class. Years spent trashing the royal family, throwing them under the bus, trying to stir up drama. Stories about their toxic views follow everywhere they go. So how would any A-list celebrity want to connect themselves with such incredibly toxic people? There's just negative publicity about them everywhere. I like what that Megyn Kelly has to say about the fake royals. She's so straightforward. I have no patience for Harry and Meghan at this point. I find them appalling. But at least Megyn Kelly is letting us know what's up. And I guess, to be fair, at least Meghan Markle is trying something. I mean, it's up to the public whether or not this new venture succeeds, and I'm guessing it won't. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. So Meghan's trying to sell some dog treats, some dog bowls, tea towels, birdseed, Tupperware, glassware, jam, honey, cups, saucepan, coffee, rolling pins, you name it. Meghan Markle is going to receive that shipment from China, and then she's going to slap a really high price tag on it and try to sell it to idiots. Thousands of dollars are spent on clothing, private jets, while everybody else is having to work all hours. Sometimes as waitresses, sometimes in retail, in a factory, spending hours on the phone in sales, or having to do a driving job and not having any toilet facilities, being exposed to the elements. We've got ambulance crews, we've got doctors, we've got nurses, we've got teachers. But here's Meghan Markle complaining about her lot in life. And, Harry and Meghan, they're on permanent vacation. They spend more money in a week than most of us earn in a whole year. And they still think that people want to line up and see them, to wave at them, to get a glimpse of their fake smiles. The world's media focuses on these two, and nothing about the horrible injustice and cruelty in animal welfare, specifically in China. Now, the world governments should really be paying attention to what they're doing over there, but no, we're too distracted by these idiots. We get to see their stupid pictures posted everywhere and all about what they want and what they're entitled to. Has anyone trashed the royal family as viciously and as often as Meghan and Harry have? I don't think so. And has anybody lived such a life of absolute wealth and privilege like Harry has, and then gone on to trash the family that provided all that to him? The two of them could not be further from being victims. They got $1 million a year from his father, and they were living in a royal grace and favor property. They were not struggling to pay their bills. They weren't struggling to pay their light bill, to pay electricity, to pay for the gas like people in the UK are. All we see is those two jetting around on holiday, complaining about what's happening to them, complaining about how rough they've got it. And what I find hilarious is there isn't really anything actually to buy on the website yet. You can just sign up. I do not think this is going to catch on. It's like having to make an appointment just to go to the grocery store. But anyway, let's think about Megyn Kelly. So she's got 1.83 million followers on YouTube alone. So she must be doing something right, not like that fake Duchess who now has to resort to selling napkins and dog food for a few dollars. Now, maybe it's going to be more profitable for her than being a failed royal or a Z-list actress who's almost 50 years old, but still, I don't think it's going to rake in the billions that she's wanting. Meghan is also an idiot the way that she goes about everything. If she had it all set up with a CEO, which she's just now looking for, actual products could already be ready for the market. And if she weren't trying to sell everything she could think of, then maybe she would have a chance at success. Honestly, it sounds to me like, as always, Meghan expects somebody else to do all the work and to take the blame for the failures. We're used to seeing that from her. Meghan just wants to get all the attention. She wants to get the glory. She wants to be in the ads. She wants to be in front of the camera. And she wants to leave all that boring work stuff for somebody else to do. And I think the organizations that let Meghan Markle buy all those awards and buy access to speak into a microphone when she hasn't done anything impressive are at least partially to blame. I just thank the people who didn't invite her to events like the Oscars and the Emmys and the Met Gala. And this website is just another example of Meghan Markle proving that she doesn't have any good ideas. This is the best that she can come up with. She has applied for the ARO trademark, but it still hasn't been approved. Is there any evidence whatsoever, though, that Meghan Markle is capable of selling anything but herself, her title, and this victimhood narrative? And as for Netflix, they should have known better. They have been burned once by the devious duo and their lack of content, and it looks like maybe it's going to happen again. Is there any evidence that Meghan Markle can actually cook? I know we've heard about the roast chicken, but that's it. Is there anything that she can do for us that doesn't revolve around talking about herself? Ugh, and that voice. Truth be told, the market that Meghan is aiming at is already oversaturated, and by people who are a lot better at what they're doing than Meghan is. Meghan's resume is hardly impressive. She's never shown any real talent. She's always been a second-rate player. The blog was boring, mediocre, and she latched on to Jessica's family. That brought her some opportunities to social climb, and she married Harry because she thought that it was the opportunity of a lifetime. And she puffed herself up with basically nothing impressive to bring to the table. The general feeling is that Meghan Markle has just been using Harry for his prestige and his entitlement. Meghan wants to play a role that she's obviously not qualified for. So if you ask me, with ARO, the titles are being used to promote it, and Meghan Markle needs to stop it. I mean, it shows complete hypocrisy from a woman who claims to hate the monarchy and everything it stands for. Actually, I would also love to see an end to these articles on Meghan. Nothing would make me happier, I think. And I also hear that this American Riviera orchard is just a ripoff of Richard Christensen's Flamingo Estate. Supposedly, Meghan Markle expressed a desire to come on as an active partner in that business. But at the end of the day, the estate understood they didn't want to take their business in that direction. They didn't want it to fail. So she decided, well, I can just steal their idea. But the big difference is that Christensen started out really small. It was very exclusive, and it built legitimacy with an elite clientele. Well, Meghan, no, she's just going to burst onto the scene at the very top of everything. She doesn't want to have to put any work into it. With 150 products, though, Meghan is going to have a very difficult time with inventory, manufacturing. I mean, even if she has the clients to buy the stuff, I don't see how she's going to make this happen. I'm not convinced. Let Meghan earn her own money and leave the royal family alone. It's not even that, I do kind of want her to fail, but in some ways I also want her to figure out some way to make a living that doesn't depend on trashing the royals. And she better not try to get herself a part-time job as a working royal. I mean, come on. She needs to stop trying to get Harry to reconcile with his family so that she can be connected again with royalty to help market her brand. Meghan Markle is unnecessary. And it sounds like her site is going to be way too similar to other sites that are already out there. And I'm wondering, who is her customer base going to be? Just a bunch of members of the Sussex squad, I guess. And I can't help but wonder if Meghan Markle is going to be handing out her own royal warrants next. They have got to take those titles away. Meghan Markle doesn't belong to the royal family any longer, and they shouldn't allow her to make money off that royal title that she currently has from them. She's not royal, so she has no business referring to herself as Duchess. She just needs to go back to being Ms. Meghan Markle. And thank you for watching all our videos. How do you feel about the topic? Don't forget to respond in the comments below. Goodbye, and I'll be back to see you tomorrow.